All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I don't know, bro. My stomach is hurting to learn about this, but we have the difference between a W 2 employee and a 1099 independent contractor. So, a W 2 employee, you work for the company. A 1099 independent contractor, you work with the company as an independent business. The difference is more than paperwork. It affects taxes, benefits, legal protections, and how much control the company has over your work. So, a W 2 employee says think of yourself as part of the company. The employer hires you, trains you, sets your schedule, tells you how to do the work, pays your wages, withholds taxes from your paycheck. For example, if your salary is $1,000 for a pay period, your paycheck might look like this: gross pay 1,000, federal tax withheld 100, Social Security 62, Medicare 1450, state tax $30. You take your take home pay might be around $793.50 depending on your tax situation. The employer sends those withheld taxes to the government for you. At the end of the year, you receive a W 2 showing total wages, taxes withheld, Social Security and Medicare contributions, and other deductions. A 1099 independent contractor. Now imagine you're running your own business. The company says, we'll pay you $1,000 to complete this project. They generally don't withhold taxes, so you receive the full $1,000. That sounds great, but now you're responsible for paying your own taxes. You may need to set aside money for federal income tax, state income tax, self employment tax, which covers both the employee and employer portions of Social Security and Medicare. At year end, if reporting requirements are met, the company typically sends you a 1099 NEC showing how much they paid you, why companies hire W 2 employees. Company choose W 2 employees when they need ongoing control over the work. Examples: cashiers, nurses, teachers, warehouse workers, office staff, manufacturing employees. The company can require specific work hours, attendance at meetings, company procedures, uniforms, company equipment, supervision. In return, employees often receive healthcare insurance, paid vacation, sick leave, retirement plans, unemployment insurance coverage, and workers' compensation protection. Why companies hire 1099 contractors? Sometimes a business only needs specialized work or temporary help. Examples: freelance graphic designers, photographer, electrician, marketing consultant, software consultant. The company usually cares about the finished result, not exactly how or when the work gets done. A contractor may work from home anywhere, choose their own hours, use their own equipment, work for multiple clients, and hire assistants. Why companies like 1099 workers? Hiring contractors can reduce costs because companies generally do not have to withhold payroll taxes, pay the employer's share of Social Security and Medicare taxes, provide employee benefits, pay unemployment insurance taxes for those workers. This can make contractors less expensive and more flexible for certain types of work. Why some companies misclassify workers? Sometimes a company labels someone as a 1099 contractor even though they treat them like an employee. For example, they might require you to work 9 to 5 every weekday, tell you exactly how to do your job, require you to wear a company uniform, prohibit you from working for anyone else, closely supervise your daily work. If the relationship legally looks like employment, Calling the workers a contractor doesn't change that. Misclassification can lead to back taxes, penalties, and other legal consequences. That's crazy. Taxes, the biggest difference. W-2, the employer pays part of your Social Security and Medicare taxes, and you pay the other part through payroll withholding. You don't have to calculate or send those payroll taxes yourself. 1099, you generally pay both the employee and employer portions through self-employment tax and with any income tax you owe. Many contractors make estimated tax payments during the year instead of waiting until tax filing season. Which pays more? It depends. Suppose a company offers $30 an hour as a W-2 employee. That's company A. Company B offers $30 an hour as a 1099 contractor. At first glance, they look equal. But as a contractor, you likely have additional tax responsibilities and won't automatically receive employee benefits. Because of that, many independent contractors aim to charge higher hourly rate than they would accept as a W-2 employee, though the right amount depends on expenses, benefits, and other factors. Can you choose? Sometimes. Some jobs are genuinely structured as either employment or independent contracting, but many positions cannot legally be whichever the company prefers. The nature of working relationships determines the correct classification under law. Quick comparison. W-2 employees works for the company, tax withheld, receive W-2, often eligible for benefits. Employer controls work. Employer pays part of payroll taxes. So a 1099 independent contractor operates as an independent business providing services, generally pays own taxes, usually receives 1099 NEC, usually not eligible for employee benefits, greater control over how work is performed. Contractor generally pays self-employment taxes. A good rule of thumb, ask yourself these questions. Who controls my schedule? Who decides how I do my work? Whose tools and equipment am I using? Can I work for other clients? Am I running my own business or am I part of someone else's business? If you're part of the company's day-to-day operations and they direct your work, you're often a W-2 employee. If you're operating independently, describing how complete the work and offering services to clients, you're more likely a 1099 independent contractor. If you're interested in another series, go ahead and subscribe. I learned so much today. Man, knowledge is power. Come on now. If you want to win, you better learn. I'm out, bro.